Hi everybody. I wanted to get on and do my first development video, so bear with me. This is a first time being in front of the camera. As you know, this is a little nerve-wracking for me. It's not my normal favorite place to be. So I wanted to talk this week predominantly because I had decided that I didn't want to do a video this week because my life is really crazy and hectic at work right now. Everything is completely changed. My job description has kind of been thrown out the window, and I'm going back to doing something that I haven't done in 8 years. It's a big, complicated mess, but good learning experience and definitely something that is helping me to grow. So I went back to the basics of life, the things that I know are going to help me during times like this. So I wanted to give kind of 5 tips on things that I'm doing throughout the week in this everything's different, nothing's the way I'm used to it being. As we all know, I'm a double introvert. I am kind of perfectionist tendencies. I'm working on that. So one of my main things I've been working on for years along the same line is something that I have called my victory journal. And it's something that originated in a time when I would get really down if I didn't complete things the way I felt like I should have, or I hadn't, gotten as much done as I thought I should have done. The am I doing enough, am I enough sort of scenario. And my husband started getting me thinking on the fact that I'm doing a lot of things. I'm just not giving myself credit for the things that I am doing. So I keep this journal throughout my day, and I look for anything that I've done, even if it's as simple as brushing my teeth that day and getting up and getting out of bed. And it really helps me to take that moment to kind of congratulate myself and really realize that I did complete something that was on my list, or I did something of value that day. And I use this in a lot of different ways. I've been doing it for years now, and it helps me so much. I can't even tell you how much this simple practice means for me. And I also look for mini miracles throughout my day, things that have gone so well that I just I can't help but realize that there's something more than just me in my day, that I have somebody looking out for me. I am a highly religious person, so this will come out at some point throughout my videos. So that's my first point. Give yourself credit. Really realize that you are making an effort and you're doing more than you think you are. And then my second point is, all of us have different values, different things that matter to us, and in particular, different, overarching categories that we feel like we haven't done enough if we didn't do something in those categories. So whether that's, for you, if it's kids and family, making healthy meals, whatever it is. For me, it goes down to spirituality, and development is a big one for me, and I've really been focusing on self-care this week. Anything else, yes, it's important, and I love doing it, and it's, I obviously want to do it in a perfect world. However, this week has been really rough. These last 3 weeks I've been working full-time when I'm used to working part-time. I'm exhausted at the end of the day. I don't have the capacity at the moment to do every perfect thing that I want to do, or everything that is of value to not only myself but my family. So I have kind of given priority to these areas, and that really helps me, especially in the sense of self-care, because when I get stressed out, I'm one of those that I forget to eat. I forget to, all the simple things that should be really just everyday things, those are the things that I forget about. And right on down the line to breathing when I'm supposed to, or trying to stay relaxed so that my throat doesn't get all tense and things like that. So, you know, my area of struggle is obviously not going to be the same as yours, but I'm hoping that some of these principles will apply to you as well. So that's my number 2, making sure that even if I can't touch on those categories every day throughout these weeks and things like that, I am at least trying to remain in touch with those categories. If I can do more, that's fantastic, but it's a case by case. It's double checking with myself to make sure that I am not feeling overwhelmed or doing too much and then not being able to complete something the next day, because I am very famous for doing that. I will try and do too much and then I'm down for 3 days trying to recover. So that is something that I really have to take into account and think about. And this is where graceful ease comes into play. If I am not able to do it in a manner that is going to give me the energy to continue, maybe I do it in chunks. So maybe I can't do all of my dishes in one day, but I can unload the top rack of my dishwasher. So every day is a little bit different. Evaluate as you go. Make sure that you're not doing too much. Give yourself the grace. If it is one of those crazy hectic weeks, maybe your daily washing of the shower or the bathrooms, whatever it is, just doesn't get done. And because you do it weekly, in the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't really matter that much. It's okay. And giving yourself the grace that you would give to someone else and allowing a little ease in your life so that you aren't so stressed that you can't function is a good thing. So that's all I will say there. I think it's pretty self-explanatory to most. Which leads me right into my third point. Awareness is one of my big points that I am working on right now. As I mentioned before, muscle tension is a huge thing in my life. So I try to do hourly check-ins, make sure that I'm breathing, that my muscles are relaxed, that I'm able to, evaluate my mood even. All these things are going to be good for the remainder of my day. The more I can be aware of what's going on and be in the present moment, the better I'm going to do throughout any tasks that I have during my day. So check-ins are great. I am also doing a lot of meditation. Meditation is huge for me. And, everyone can have a different meditation practice. Maybe you go on nature walks, and I personally consider that a form of meditation. It's, anything that takes your mind away from the stresses and whatever is going on throughout your day, and you can stop and really, for lack of a better term, smell the roses. That's awesome. That is something that is going to serve you long term, and it will make you more present and aware when you're dealing with your family and things later on throughout your day. So it's just, I can't say enough about coping strategies. I am a very stressed, kind of high anxiety type person, and the more I can make these coping mechanisms a part of my everyday, it really makes a difference. It's something that really allows me to be able to be a better person and my best self throughout, even trying times like right now. So, so the other thing I've been learning this week, primarily over the last few weeks, is to check in with yourself. Treat yourself as if you would a friend. How can I help you? What is going to relieve some stress for you? Where do you need the help? And I know it sounds silly, but asking yourself this question, you might turn out to be like me, where you go, oh my gosh, I've never asked myself this before. It was a highly emotional moment for me because I could do something for myself and I didn't know it because I had never taken the time to ask and find out. So I think that's a really, really important point. It's something that you should work on. Self-Compassion is a book I'm reading right now, and a lot of the points are very useful and something that I probably wouldn't have thought of previous to now. So very, very good tips. Coping techniques. You don't have to use mine. Anything you find is good. Just, like I say, check in, make sure you're aware, and know what you can do. One of my coping techniques that has actually moved into a category all its own is transitions. And that is something that I've been learning recently, where when you're finished with your day at work, you need to have a transition that moves your mind and your body into the next task or the next thing that you're doing. And it's really good if it can be a habit or something that's structured that you do all the time. Even if it's in a category, like I say, where you do something consistently, but maybe it's a little bit different each day depending on your needs. And I have been using this for probably 3 weeks or so about a month. And the benefits that I have found with this are really amazing, because it not only helps you to focus on the task that you're doing, but it helps you to, again, check in and be aware before you start transitioning to the next thing. So if you are maybe a little stressed or you are a little overwhelmed in the moment, you can take count, and you can make yourself a to-do list, anything like that that's going to break it down into little steps, and you'll just feel better about the process going forward. I have been using this as I start my day in the mornings. I try to have a morning routine before I clock in for work. Sometimes that doesn't work. Again, graceful ease. So I have a cardigan that I put on every day that is, it signals to me that I am starting work. And at that point, I try, and it's an effort, right? I try really hard not to think about all of the housework around me that's not done, the load of laundry I need to put in, all those things. And I try to just be present with my work day. After I've done so much work and I feel like I'm being productive there, I may go ahead and take a break and actually do a couple things, but I do try not to do that because it goes against the process of having a transition. So do as I say, not as I do. I think it's a wonderful coping technique, however. I check in with my breathing throughout the day. Like I say, that is huge, because if you hold your breath, or if you're stressed out of any sort, breathing is one of the main ways to put you back in the present moment. So all of these things kind of tie together, but it's necessary. I also, one of my other big coping techniques that I use is called a dump list. And I'm sure it has many other names, and again, none of these are original to me except the Victory Journal. But to have a dump list, you just, anything and everything you're worrying about, you just put it all out on paper. And it allows your brain to stop thinking about all of those tasks, and it allows you to spend your brain power in a better manner towards other things that you want to do. I've taken to categorizing mine over time. So I have one that's more like my home tasks that I'm worrying about, things that are projects I want to do. So my fifth and final point, I just want to remind everyone to reevaluate. Your day's not going to go exactly as planned all the time. And sometimes when you do your transition and you realize that you just don't have the energy to do the last thing that's on your list, that's okay. That's that is graceful ease in and of itself. If it's too much for that day, then maybe you put it towards another day in the week when you think you may have more energy. Sometimes you can delegate a task, and occasionally you can look at it and say, you know what, this week that's just not really a very high priority. So really check and see if it's something that matters to you as much in the moment as you thought it would when you made the list. I shoot for nothing more than 3 tasks in a day. If it's a big task, I go for 1. I find that I can usually complete more than that, but that's all I write down. Because otherwise I let myself stress a bit more. So hopefully these tasks and tools help you and add to your toolbox. I know I've been personally collecting ideas for my toolbox for years. But these are the main ones that I'm focusing on over the last 3 weeks and into this week. And it's helped me to just keep it all straight and not go crazy in the process. So thank you everybody for watching. I know this was a little bit of a lengthy video. But I do appreciate everyone out there. If you enjoyed the video or got something out of it, I do appreciate likes and subscribes. Share it with your friends if you think somebody would be helped by these tasks and thoughts along personal development. I know grace is not easy, but it is something that if you can allow to yourself as well as you do your friends, you're going to find that you have more to give to others and that you are so much happier. So thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.